Hey guys, this is John from Walkthrough Code. So in the last video, we talked briefly about how to implement state in your components. This is definitely the common way of organizing information within a component. State, just as a reminder, is all of the relevant values contained within your current component. And so in this video, we're going to talk about how to create multiple components and show you that you can reuse a component in multiple places. So let's go over here to the source directory, and we're just going to create another file, and we'll start organizing this more as we get a little bit deeper. But for now, here we're just going to create a component called, let's call this person.js. And let's just copy paste this just so we don't have to write it all out. Let's get rid of this app.css and logo and stuff. We'll get rid of this .state, leave the constructor, and let's get rid of this, and let's change all of the instances of app to person. And we'll get rid of this. Okay, so now we have a blank component. I don't know why it does that for me. If I close it though and I reopen it, it goes away. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, so when you so the reason why I've left this here is that when you return JSX, it can only return one element. You can have, you can organize it however you like within that. However, you can only return one element. So if I were to put, another div below here, and I were to try to run it, and I'll just show you kind of what happens. Oh, obviously nothing. Well, okay. Trust me, without going to, without kind of overstepping what we were going to do, that would break. Okay. So within here, we're going to basically take the list of people and we're going to make this into an array of objects. So let's create, let's say, let's change this to people and people. And then we'll say name is Jimmy, age is, I don't know, 33 or something. And then we'll create another object really fast, and we'll just make this a really short list. And comma, we'll make this Jacob or something, and we'll make him 24. And so we'll save this. And so here we're going to actually, let's change this from a div to an li, and we're basically gonna make it exactly like it is here, but we're going to, instead of appending an li, we're gonna append a new component actually. So here we'll say we'll create a p tag, and we'll say name, and then in those curly brackets we'll say this dot props dot name, and we'll talk about what props are in a minute. And then we'll take a p tag and we'll say age, and then we'll say this dot props dot age. Okay. Yeah, that'll work for that. And then, so props are how we pass values down from one component to I should say, a parent component to a child component. And you'll see how that comes together in a second here. So we have this .state.people, and we have our people list. So this .state.people.map and person. And so instead of rendering this, let's render our person component. And then what we also have to do, because I totally forgot, let's go here and let's import this so we have access to it, because what happened here is we exported that person class. So now we have access to all of this stuff. And so we'll go in here and we'll import person from person. And now we see that that's working, or it's trying to render it, but it needs a key property. So let's go back here and say, oh, because we never, okay, all right, that's why it's not working. So key is going to be, we'll just, since we don't have an ID, we'll just say person.name, because they have different names, and then the props value that we're going to pass down to get access to it is going to be called person, because that way inside of the component below us it's going to be called person. So we'll say person equals, let's do this. Let's say we'll call this, just to make it clear, we'll say details. You know what? And let's soft wrap this instead. Okay, so details equals the person that we're passing in. Person, right? So we're taking this person, we're passing it in here, and in the child component, in our person component, we'll be able to access this with an alias of details. So if we say this.props.details.name, and this.props.details.age, that will give us access to that. And now we see here that this works. Okay, props are something that we use very commonly, and it has to do with the unidirectional, or I should say, single direction data flow inside of React. And so as we go further into the series, you'll see that become much more apparent. But other than that, don't worry about this thing right here. Yeah, other than that, totally leave me any questions you have in the comment area below. Please like and subscribe. I love creating videos for you guys. So yeah, have an awesome day and keep coding. I look forward to seeing you next video.